We're live. We're live.
We are. This is the Rebel Republic on 97.9 Unity Radio, the best political talk show in all of Worcester, and in my mind, all of New England. And with me, as always, my co-host and cohort, the voice of reason himself, Frank Cristiano. He can't pay his bills in joy.
Oh, I'm almost there, though. I've been printing joy in my basement. It's the bank almost thinks it's real.
And from New Jersey, and he shaved his beard because so many people complained it distracted people.
They didn't like the Santa Claus look.
Yes, Dave Schuman.
Dave, I'm gonna cut it just saying I missed the beard already.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you.
And he hasn't even
moving up in my book. You keep moving on up, right to the top, Tyler.
He hasn't even been introduced yet, but
okay.
Our special guest, all he does, he teaches MMA class, he trains, and he kicks ass. That's all he does. And that is the Marauder himself, Tyler King. Tyler, welcome to Rebel Republic.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen.
Yes, Tyler. Tyler is a political expert. And he's a political expert. He came on to offer his 2 cents. So he's been waiting and
he will rear naked choke out the competition.
Yes.
Well, this is about competition. Come on, Frank.
Well, it is. We got to understand something. Right now, we are on difficult airwaves. We are in a sea of blue airwaves. And we're one red dot, and we are trying to expand. And the only way to do that sometimes is to do what you do, to kick ass. So we're going to have to choke out people. We're going to have to stop oxygen. We're going to stop oxygen to the brains of certain people just long enough so they revive. And the first things they say is, "Oh my God, what happened? How have I been looking at the world like this and voting like this? I have to change overnight and get on the right track."
So we have a question for you, Frank.
Oh, we got questions already?
We have a question that comes for you based from your pizzeria.
Oh, okay. That must be a local then.
Frankie, Franco, whatever your true name is.
That's my name. Go ahead.
Steve, you need to work on this audio situation.
Yeah. Can you plug it in so we can all hear the question?
Yeah, I can hear nothing.
Most of them have brown salad. I'm just wondering why.
It sounds like someone's placing an order at a fast food restaurant.
Your workers to make good tomato pie. Only you make it well. So I suggest you make it every day of the week. You give it garlic. You get the perfect crust. Also,
this sounds like a very
OnlyFans. Is this an OnlyFans caller?
No, it sounds like a very political pizza question. And some OnlyFans mixed in, Dave. I get that vibe too.
I thought
you sound like
Dodger's questions.
She sounds like the Dr. Ruth of food evaluation right now.
Well, she was.
I couldn't hear anything, guys. Steve, work on your audio situation, man.
Eat a salad the same day that it's made.
What'd she say?
I learned salad same day that it's made.
Her salad was brown.
Throughout the salad.
What are we doing here, guys?
I don't know. I couldn't hear. She's saying that her salad was brown. I mean, I can't
Steve,
vouch
are you
for
drinking
anyone.
bourbon or something right now? I mean,
I can't vouch for anyone who's been. Listen, we don't toss salad like that way. We toss salad in the correct, politically correct form way. If you're tossing salad and it's brown, you're in the right region, but obviously someone is doing it in the wrong style.
There was a salad ordered at your pizzeria.
Yes,
and it was brown.
Yes, of course they are. They're all brown.
It was very frustrating.
We use brown lettuce.
Why would you use brown lettuce on a salad?
Well, you know what? It's more imposing for the salad. It makes it questionable. So it has your brain start to think about what you're actually eating. We want people to be intellectually stimulated by our food.
Because
I prefer nothing brown when I'm ordering salad.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
she was
I
very
want
upset.
brown in my salad. I agree.
In prison, there's a lot of brown salad that is tossed. I'm telling you right now.
Brown
I
salad.
don't plan on going to prison, Dave.
Well, no,
Or Coach, I don't plan on going to prison. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean the brown salad.
yes.
Is this a political show?
I have
Yeah,
no
like
idea.
seriously, what's going on? Dave, thank you.
He wanted to know why she got brown salad.
He
when she ordered a salad.
played some taped recording of his pseudo girlfriend
Who ordered
asking
the
me
salad?
a question about why she got brown salad.
Yeah, she wanted
Right.
to know why she got a brown salad.
Right, but the tomato pie was good, and
Well,
the
Dave,
garlic
you guys
pizza
got to
crust
handle
was
some
good.
private. Let's
Well, 2
talk
out of 3 isn't
about.
bad.
You got to make it all the time.
Yes.
She
So let
said
me,
the other people don't
let
put
me ask
garlic
a
on.
political question, okay?
Please, Dave,
All right.
save me.
I'm going to save you. So, I think it was earlier. I think it was late last week. A reporter asked Kamala in an interview that is it Kamala? Sorry,
I don't know. It doesn't matter at this point.
Okay,
Kamala
Yeah, so-
Harris. I mean,
Kamala Harris. So they asked her. If she said, we're going to give $25,000 for new homeowners to be able to buy a new home. She had a bunch of different things that she was, earning income credit for families that, to increase your earned income credit. And the question that was asked of her, and I'm looking for the video on it, but the question that was asked of her was basically, if you're the president and you want to push these things through, what are you going to do if there's a stalemate in Congress because the Republicans obviously won't pass it through? Now, are you going to go figure out a way to fund it, yourselves, or are you going to, is it going to be dead, basically? She could not answer that question.
Well, she
Basically, her
yeah.
answer was, I'm paraphrasing, so you could go look it up. But her answer basically was, we have to have it go through.
She's right. You just have to have her go through.
Yeah, but if it's not voted in, okay,
She
if
just
it's not
said
voted in, you will not get the funding to be able to do it. So the point of the whole question was, she could not answer what she would do if she did not have the funding. She is not prepared.
She's not going to do anything. She just says it has to pass, so it's going to pass.
Yeah.
No, I think she's just saying whatever it takes to get elected, and she has zero intention or knowledge to be able to pass any of the things she's saying.
Well, her mother worked very hard. Her mother worked very hard.
Who cares if her mother worked very hard? Dave has a really good. No, Steve. Dave has a really good point here. I've seen this several times, Kamala Harris. She asks tough questions, and she gives you a big word salad without saying much of anything or giving an answer as far as how she's trying to make these things actually happen. Where on the other side of the table, poor President Trump is saying he's giving examples of how he's going to actually do the things he says he's going to do.
Yeah, well, Kamala doesn't think she has to do anything. She just thinks she has to show up and things are going to get done. Because
she's basically turned herself around in 5 years to change every policy that she backed, every idea that she had, every belief she had. She has now changed her views on that. Everything has been turned around. Find one thing. Take one topic, any topic that matters in political arguments right now, and go 5 years ago and listen to what she says, and then pull today to what she says. And it's a total 180.
Well, she's smart. She's changing her opinion.
No, she's not smart.
Biden did the same thing with things he said when he was vice president. So it's pretty much par for the course with them. Like
they're coming from an administration that has done nothing. An administration that has done nothing. She's talking about border security. The first day the Biden administration was in office, they rescinded 90 different amendments that Trump had put in for border security, funding for a wall, for extra border guards, for everything. They rescinded all of that. Then 3 years later, they come back and they go, "Oh my God, what happened? We can't believe this is terrible." Let's do a border bill. And they put a border bill together where $5 billion goes to the border, and another $30 billion goes other places. If there was such a meaning or term as pork barreling, that was the ultimate pork. That bill made me look anorexic. That's how much fat and pork was in the bill. It's garbage.
It was poorly written.
It's a totally and to say that she's going
just
to
poorly written, Stephen. They wrote
actually
written well for the Republicans to for the Democrats to launder money, pretty much. I mean,
right, and so
Ukraine at this point, like I think one of the things that's do you guys who see that Trump met with Zelensky, I believe in the last week or 10 days?
He mentioned it a couple days ago.
Yeah, exactly. So Trump is basically what was one of the things that President Trump's been saying from the outset of his campaign, that if he gets elected, when he's president-elect, he will basically get the conflict settled. So it kind of seems like he's actually putting the pieces in place.
He is.
So he can actually make that happen. So,
I agree. And he's done it in Israel. He told Netanyahu, take care of it. Get it done. Because when we win, then I'll be able to go. You get it done and knock it all out. And now what will happen is I will go in and I will broker so everything works out, and you will get everything you need. Knock out all the people that are the most dangerous threats from a terrorism standpoint. And then Ukraine, I agree with Tyler. He's talking to them because he's like, okay, let's start to figure out if I get in here, let's start to set up the pieces so we can have this back to the way he wants it. Yep.
Well, I mean, not even the way Trump wants it.
The world,
which is the best possible outcome for America and Americans, basically.
Americans in the world, exactly.
Listen, bottom line, here's how much respect the current administration has in the eyes of the world and especially Israel. At 2:36 p.m. today, New York Post comes out with an article. Biden demands Israel to not invade Lebanon.
Yeah, he said that.
Do not do this. It is not good. Look for peace.
Yeah, he wants peace.
Right. At 7:10 p.m. tonight, the New York Post runs a second article. Israel invades southern Lebanon.
Yes. Okay. They're gonna wipe the terrorists out because
absolutely.
They're gonna wipe them out. They're not waiting for Biden. They tried to wait. All that's end up happening is they could have solved this war almost immediately after it happened if Biden had green lighted. They would have got in and just got rid of the guys. But then it got dragged through it. Now they're just going to solve it. They're just going to solve it, and it's going to be over, and it'll be done. That's the way I look at it.
The thing is, okay. So here's the two things about that. One, I see what Israel's doing, and I like. The biggest thing as far as Israel's hunting and extermination of the bad guys, which I ain't gonna lie, they've done a tremendous job of. But the issue is the Israelis really don't give an F about the phrase escaped me right now.
Innocent people.
Collateral damage.
Yes, exactly. Collateral damage. Yeah. They're very
well, I think they do. They're very precise
about collateral damage.
I disagree on that. I think they're very precise, and I think they have minimal collateral damage, and they're targeting their targets. Now, listen, I do think there is collateral damage. Let's see. Let me think about what the terrorists' collateral damage is. It's all collateral damage. Every single bit of it is collateral damage. Their targets are collateral damage. So, Israel's targets are the leaders for the most part of each one. Hezbollah leader.
Well, I saw the chart. No, Dave, I fully agree with you. Yeah. As far as that goes, like I saw the chart the other day, and they are ruthlessly efficient. Like, say what you will about the Israeli military and their intelligence agencies are ruthlessly efficient. Like it's
Well, yeah, they've been
pretty impressive.
forever.
It's pretty
It's
impressive.
geniusly run.
Um,
It's geniusly run. Listen, if we started if our CIA and FBI was trustworthy the way that they should be, and was run in a
You don't trust
fashion
them. I
that we
trust
could
the
trust
CIA.
them like the Israelis trust the IDF. If we could trust our own,
I trust the CIA. You don't trust the CIA?
I don't know. Let me ask you this question: do you trust the
trust-
CIA?
Yeah, of course. They're the CIA. How can you not trust them?
Do you trust them, Frank?
Absolutely not.
I trust
Thank
them
you.
fully.
Absolutely not. What government
Why do you trust the
agency?
CIA?
Because they're the CIA and they know
If you,
everything.
let me ask you this question: if you were in Israel, just from it doesn't mean you have to be super knowledgeable on it, but if you were in Israel, would you trust the IDF with your life?
Yes.
If you were in the United States, do you trust the CIA with your life, or the FBI
do.
with your life?
I
You do.
Unless I'm
Really?
Trump. If I'm Trump, I
What do you
don't.
mean Steve, to what end do you trust them with your life?
If I'm Trump, I don't trust them because they're going to try to get me killed.
But all you're
Well, I
saying
mean,
is
You citizens
the
trust
CIA,
them.
maybe. The
Only person
FBI,
who don't
do
like
not
you,
trust.
they're gonna do.
Trump does not even trust the FBI right now.
That's the point of the CIA. They get rid of you.
Yeah, but you're so how can you have confidence in them at all? Because at any point in time, if they don't like what you're saying or doing, they're just going to get rid of you.
I think they should then. If they don't like me, they should get rid of me.
Why you need? But then you're saying you need to
Steven,
conform. Where's the
Christ,
democracy? Oh, you want to live under a dictatorship then?
We're communists. We're not a democracy.
We are.
Yeah.
Where's the
We are a
capitalist
democratic
society?
republic,
We're a
Steven.
socialistic system.
No, we're not a socialistic society yet. We will be there at some point in life. We're not there yet. We're not
If
going
the
to
Democrats get elected, we'll probably be there pretty soon.
If anyone is thinking about electing a Democrat in this upcoming campaign in 2024, November 5th, they've got to be out of their minds. The Democratic Party has brought in a relief pitcher with a 12.50 ERA and no saves.
Well, and she has
All right.
Great. That's a phenomenal analogy.
Well, Frank, all the baseball fans will understand what you mean. Everyone else doesn't know what the hell you just said.
Right. But the thing is this: they brought in someone to do the job that is not capable. Number one, this was a last-second replacement. This wasn't like she was groomed. They didn't want her. 5 months ago, they did not want this person anywhere near the presidency.
Can we talk about the video that's been circulating of Kamala partying with, I believe, the ex-DA or ex-mayor of D.C. on Inside Edition? Have you guys seen that?
No, I didn't see that.
You ever see that one?
I have not. I got to find that one.
He was partying with them,
Like,
going
I
out.
believe Inside Edition was doing
like Marion Barry doing the coke in the hotel room.
I don't know if it was Marion Barry, but it was another high-ranking DC official or Baltimore official. Not 100% sure, but Kamala was just one of the girls like hanging out with him, and they asked her a question like, "Is that your dad?" And she was like, "Yeah, no."
But
no, that's what's his Willie
Brown.
Willie Brown back in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Oh,
So
sorry about that.
Willie
That
Brown's
was
mistress.
DC.
Yeah.
She was Willie Brown's mistress.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And she had a relationship with Willie Brown, and he was the power broker in San Francisco, and that's how she began her rise to power. She had a relationship with him, and he kind of put her on, into the circle and helped her get her career rolling, and then she became the DA and all that kind of stuff. And
so I have a question, just because I don't understand this. This is on Fox. It says a judge in Fulton County, Georgia, has overturned the state's heartbeat law on abortion, which made it illegal to terminate a pregnancy after 6 weeks. What does that mean?
Where was that? I'm sorry. Read that again to me.
Georgia.
Fulton County, Georgia.
Georgia overturned an abortion law that states that once the fetus has a heartbeat, you can't abort it.
Yeah, 22 weeks, I guess it says.
So they overturned it. So they said
overturned
you can abort it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that means that they're getting closer to legalizing abortion.
Well,
in
it's
that
No, it
legal.
means
It's
actually
still-
no, Steve. That's
The
exactly the
heartbeat
opposite
law.
of what that means.
Oh,
that
it is.
that was a more like that.
more
They
progressive.
said that law's negated.
Oh, it's illegal to terminate it. Oh, okay. So they're saying
Oh,
that
okay.
they're making you stay with the pregnancy. Okay.
So wait a minute, that law. So that was the law, but this law actually makes it easier to get an abortion because they overturned that law.
Right.
Yeah, that a judge in
Okay.
Fulton County has overturned the state's heartbeat law on abortion,
Okay.
which made it illegal to terminate a pregnancy after 6 weeks. Now it's legal to terminate.
Right. So it's become more
Yeah.
progressive. They're allowing
Yes,
abortion.
exactly.
I mean,
And-
that's the one
and-
issue that we all, me, Frank, like we have slight disagreements on.
Georgia's a swing state, though, right? It's one of those swing
Yes, it
states.
is 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
pretty
my
big-
take on that is, I think the heartbeat law.
I've never heard of a heartbeat.
I
law.
think it's a pretty decent cutoff, but again, I'm not a woman. I don't know.
Well, would they take
I don't know.
It's a very that whole issue is very difficult. That's one of the things that I think. Well, for me, I'm not 40s, 9-month deal.
No,
here.
the late term abortion.
I think
Yeah.
those things are. I don't think George is doing that, but
No.
that's going to be. I think if abortion becomes a central part of, which I don't think it's going to be, but
No.
if it's a central part of the election, Trump's losing the election.
It's going to be.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't think it's going to be just because I think that people, if that becomes the mainstay because of the nuances, and now abortion-wise, Trump has never said hey, if someone is raped or incest, that they shouldn't be able to get abortion. He's never said any of those things. So
No,
people,
he stayed
he
away.
but a general abortion, obviously, as a
No, I saw a clip today where Trump was talking about which way he wanted to go on this, and it was fairly progressive. So he's pretty middle of the road on this.
On abortion.
Well, what it is,
Yeah.
he's made it pretty simple. He's laid it out. It's to the state's rule
Yeah.
as to how they're going to act on it. So each area is a little different.
He was asked, but the thing was, he was asked about, I believe, one of the state's laws, and he kind of said, "Okay, this is where I would."
Yeah, I don't listen. If Roe v. Wade was upheld and it wasn't reversed, I think this would be a grand slam home run for the Republican Party, and they'd have Donald Trump back as a nominee. I think Roe v. Wade right now is a rallying cry for the Democrats because it's a very loose and wide-ranging area because he's not only going to take away the abortion rights, he's going to take away other rights of women. And so now you're pitting him against the entire gender of people in this country, which is totally inaccurate. But,
well, I mean,
and the thing is,
that's just very indicative of what the left has done as far as pushing these narratives about Trump that simply don't hold up.
No, they don't. But listen, if you want to look up something, look up the Project 2025 and look up who founded and wrote that, was the initial writer who put that all together in that conservative think tank. And then look who they just endorsed for the president of the United States. Right. So the writer of 2025 has endorsed Kamala Harris.
Right.
For the presidency in this election.
After doing that.
So you're saying what you're saying is the guy wrote an entirely conservative socialistic view, overly conservative, not communist, but overly conservative view, a paper about how they think conservatives will look at the country and want the country to go in direction. But he went and threw his support to Kamala Harris.
Right.
What does that tell you right now?
Right.
It tells you right now that Project 2025 is not a capitalist Republican piece of paper or literature. No. That is more of a socialist agenda with some conservative thought values in it, because they want the entire society to be under one bubble of thought. Okay.
Right.
So when you're looking at this, you've got to step back. Forget about the hate of the guy. Is Trump the best public speaker out there? No. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's good
he
at
gets emotional.
He's good.
He's good with the camera. He's good with a couple takes, but Yeah.
He's good at telling stories. Okay, he's out there. And
Yeah.
people that like
I'll give
him
you that.
rally around that. You know why? Because they feel that he sounds like them. When you go over dinner at your relative's house, and you're all sitting around, you all had a couple of drinks, and you're talking. There's always one guy that comes out and starts telling stories, and that guy's the life of the party, and he's funny. Man, I really like him. That's the guy. Next party, I hope he comes back. That's what Trump is.
Yeah.
Except take that part of the equation out
Good
of it.
analogy. I like that.
Yeah, but take that part of the equation out of it, and now put in the factor value of what the policies actually are going to accomplish, or should I say, what they had accomplished with the 4 years that he was in there.
Right.
See, we already have proof.
Yes,
of
they had. I mean,
concepts.
No.
I got proof of concept.
Yeah.
I don't have any proof of concept with Kamala Harris.
No.
And the only proof of concept I have is not what she's saying now, because I don't believe that. That's a load of shit.
Yeah.
What I have right now, as far as proof of concept, is what she stood by all the way up from middle class America,
Well,
from DA in San Francisco,
Yep.
from senator in California,
Yeah.
and to where she is right now.
Yeah.
She co-signed. As the inner city community says, she has co-signed all these projects and administrative decisions that have come from the Biden administration. It's not one person. Listen, if the head of the mob goes down in a bust, the rest of the mob is going along with her. Why? Why is the rest of the mob going along with the boss?
because they can make those
They're all in
connections
on it.
legally.
Right. They've all co-signed
Politics. They can't make those
what the mob
connections.
boss wanted to do. That's the same thing that's happening right now. If people can't see that, they're blind. Get to your obstetrician, get a new prescription for your glasses, open up your eyes, stop reading Helen Keller books, and realize that right now this is not the viable option for the president of this country.
She's a mob boss.
I don't know what the hell she is. She tells 17 different stories.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going off,
She answered her
dude.
question.
She confuses you.
She well,
Right.
Tyler said word salad. You ask her a question, she wants you to tell you the story that she grew up in the middle class, and then
Her mother.
How about her word salad with
She's
Dave?
trying
How
to
about her
connect.
word salad with different accents?
You know when you're like with somebody, you're at a party or something, or you're at an event, and there's a person that's going from place to place, trying to connect with people, trying to relate to people on their level, but can't really do it, don't have the ability to do it. Like they try to relate to you and they ask questions and they say,
Yeah.
I also did this, or I also did, right? They're trying to relate to you, but they can't do it. They don't have the awareness and the understanding of what
Dave,
it
I
takes.
love this analogy. I love
relate-
this analogy.
Yep. Well, that's her. She's saying, I'm middle class like you. I'm a middle class person.
I'm just like you.
I'm just like you when she's not. She's
Not at all.
not like you.
No,
she's
not
not
at
like
all.
and she's not like you. I mean, she is
Is she married? Does she have kids?
yeah, she is
Her
married.
husband.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
She's married with kids.
She has a child. Actually, one of the funny it was a Beeb. I think I saw it was like a picture of what Donald Trump's child looks like, and it was a picture of what her child.
Yeah, no, I thought that were.
It wasn't a fair pod shot, but it was pretty interesting.
It showed Donald Trump's child, Tim Walz's child, Joe Biden's child, and Kamala Harris's child.
So a big issue that has come up lately that I've been seeing in the news is everything about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden this, Hunter Biden that. Do you think Hunter Biden should have been charged by the FBI?
Obviously.
Absolutely.
He was
Obviously.
charged. He was charged.
He
pled guilty. He pled guilty.
He did
Yeah.
plead
Yeah. And you know why he
Yeah.
pled guilty? Because he didn't want to open up Pandora's box.
because he didn't.
exactly.
Because if he fights it, then everyone's got to come in and testify. From his own family to supporters to haters to people that were involved to his mistresses to his coke dealer, they all got to come in and testify.
Right.
And that would be now. Granted, not that it's not death already, because death is walking in our administration right now. And that's our current president.
Yeah.
Okay, he's nowhere to be found except for on a couple of talk shows talking about how he is actually semi-slow.
Well, he wears the pants.
But beyond
but
that,
listen, Joe Biden is not just a lame duck. He's been doing nothing. And once the debate happened, he was done. He was done. The power already has shifted. They're just hoping that they can take it to the next level by Kamala winning. But I mean, he's not running the country anymore.
No, he does nothing. Yeah.
And realize right now, Joe Biden wanted the DNC, wanted the Democratic Party to lose this upcoming election once he was replaced. Okay, because I'm telling you right now, what I talked about a couple months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, about who I actually thought was going to be the new candidate was Michelle Obama.
Right.
Michelle Obama, this was planted all along for her to be.
They do not want to open that Pandora's box.
That's what it is. But Michelle Obama, and you would
the Democratic Party does not want to open that Pandora's box.
They do. Tyler, I disagree. They want her there bad, so bad. She would win in a second. Michelle Obama would beat Donald Trump and any other Republican you put up against her. And it means that the vice president of the United States would be her husband, Barack Obama.
Right.
Okay. They will bypass those laws too. There are laws in place, but hey, listen, they could get rid of that too.
I'm sorry, but right now, no, I hear what you're saying, Frank.
Yeah.
But the actual facts of the Obama presidency are really coming to light now. There would be a huge upswell bringing up all the old dirt about the Obama presidency.
Well, from 20
wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
And all the issues, all the other issues surrounding Michelle Obama.
Doesn't matter.
So,
she could have a cock. It wouldn't matter.
Trust me, that matters. Frank, that matters.
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter because you know why? There are more people that felt warm and fuzzy under Obama's 8 years than there weren't.
Yeah, they had joy.
There were more. Exactly.
Yeah,
joy,
and there's also a lot of people. There's also a lot of people that weren't so warm and fuzzy under those 8 years. It got a lot more warm and fuzzy the 4 years under President Trump, and that's a real thing.
Correct, but it's still a minority. It's not the majority of the country, and so
it's actually a lot of registered voters at this point.
Tyler,
like economically, there's enough people in the country that did a lot better financially under President Trump.
The average person in this election is not looking at it economically. If they did, you wouldn't hear about abortion issues.
Okay, that's actually fine. That's actually valid. That's actually valid.
If it is, you wouldn't hear about LGBTQ issues. If the economy is.
I will say I've heard a lot less. I've heard a lot less about those issues in the past 2 months.
It's inflation.
That's faded a lot. That's faded a lot.
The issue is that the media tries to control that narrative that
Dave. And
that
honestly,
the economics are not important per se. And you know, that's why we always joke that Frank says, you know, I'm trying to feed myself with joy, right? Like
bills with joy, yes.
Right. So that's what the media tries to say. They're trying to convince you that these things don't impact you. Now, I'll say the one thing. So, are you familiar with what could happen tomorrow with the longshoremen? Right.
Absolutely. You're asking for $5 more an hour and implemented over a 5-year contract.
There's going to be a strike.
Right. So if it's not, if they don't get it done, there's going to be a strike.
Yes.
And I think that if that happens, and obviously there's still time, right? And I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but if that happens and a longshoremen are not working and we don't get products from, you know, your Amazon products from China or whatever, you know, wherever you're getting it from, your food, your cars, your car parts that you need, the country as we know it will start to go to a halt and people will start to lose jobs. And I saw it said best by the guy who's in charge of the negotiations. And he said, you know, week 1 will be this, week 2 will be this, week 3 will be this. And I think that people would realize pretty quickly how important the economics of the world is. Meaning, if people aren't getting the opportunity to be successful, and longshoremen aren't, you know, getting the opportunity to be able to make a living, right? Because they're getting squeezed. But not the billionaires that Kamala's targeting, I always say it's the billionaires. The billionaires vote for Kamala because they already have all the money they need. Okay, other than Elon Musk. Okay, they vote for Kamala because it doesn't matter what you tax them. That money is somewhere else. It's not getting. They're not getting touched. So the longshoremen go and strike, and what happens is the regular people will be most affected. Hugely. They will realize very quickly how important it is to be able to have a job, be able to have money, be able to have an opportunity, not to be reliant on China. How important that will be, okay? Because we are reliant on a lot of these foreign countries to get a lot of our products at a reasonable price.
Very dependent, very dependent.
But whether people like it or not, that's the reality. When I go on Amazon, okay, as much as I'd like to buy a U.S. made, okay, there's so few products that are U.S. made that are of a reasonable price, okay? And what happens is that will bring us to, it's what Trump has said. We've allowed China to be able to get no tariffs. We've allowed them to be able to have free enterprise. And ultimately, the group that money gets taken away from is Americans.
Yeah, it's the middle class.
Money to everybody else. Yeah. American, and you'll find that out very quickly if the longshoremen strike, among many other issues. But
they're going to strike. They're going to strike. And Dave, 58% of the Teamsters Union will vote for Donald Trump in this election. That is the current poll. So, I mean, you're talking about
huge
union. That is the staple union in this country, the United States Teamsters Union. And 58% of those surveyed on the telephone calls by independent parties are going to put their support behind Donald Trump, behind Hitler. They're going to support Hitler.
Well, he's not Hitler.
Well, of course he is. That's what the media and the Democrat Party made him out to be.
Kamala is going to tax money that you don't already have. You said
that's how that political machine works.
I think
they want things. You know what they are. What they are is Christmas is always in July for Democrats because they want stuff before they even get it. You understand what I mean?
Okay.
They want presents under the tree before you're even near the assigned date. So they want to take it before you even have it in your hands.
Taxed on money I don't.
Hey, I just mailed out my property taxes today. Made a nice fat check for the school district, and I'll have another one for the county coming up soon as well.
Our school taxes are high here.
Our school taxes are very high, but you know what? There's a lot of other places in the country school taxes are high as well. Right. I mean, I can't. My house makes me nothing. I don't sell anything out of my house. I don't produce anything out of my house except gasoline bills. I'm gas and electric.
Your mortgage is a 30-year mortgage, though, right?
It is.
It's 30 years. Okay.
It is. And I refinanced because there was free money a few years ago. So I took a little bit of money and refinanced the house.
And who is that free money under?
Yeah.
Frank, who is that free money under?
Oh, absolutely. It's under this administration.
Trump, right?
No, actually it was under this administration. Because they lowered the interest rate to zero because the damn economy went into the toilet because of COVID. COVID is not the only. See, they've got to stop with this angle that COVID is the only thing that has dropped that dropped the economy so fast and so hard. Yeah, for a few weeks, a couple months. Yeah, I understand that. But bottom line, the increase.
I've seen several industries that have taken a while to recover.
Yeah, it is, Tyler. But here's the thing. Here's where they're lacking the ability to recover in. When your payroll has to double in 6 years, there's no way you can make that up without charging much higher rates.
That's also valid.
So, and we talked about this before on Rebel Republic, and the payroll in my company has doubled in 6 years. And why has it doubled? Do I give crazy salaries to everyone? No, I pay people fairly for what they do, and sometimes I pay them more for what they do, especially the ones that have put in the time with me. I got a couple 30 years in, guys. You know what I mean? But bottom line is my payroll has doubled because our state did the race to 15 in 6 years. It was $10.50. Now it's $15, and it's going to go to $15.70 in just a little bit in the state.
Minimum wage.
That's a minimum. So what do I got to give the 30-year guy?
Right.
So my pay. That's the only. I can't make up anything on that.
Telling me some
businesses.
People won't work. People. Listen, that's the other thing. So people, and this isn't. It goes for even states that don't have that 15 minimum. The minimum wage, people won't work anymore if they're not getting a certain amount, and it's probably above 15. Really, so you can't even get. It's very hard to get workers to do the job and want to do the job, because once, I mean, this is a minimum wage, obviously, discussion in the sense, but once you start to mandate amount that you pay people, okay?
Yeah.
What happens is different industries require different things, okay?
Sure.
But if you put a
Sure.
flat mandate on it, then what happens is certain businesses, certain types of business, their prices will go through the roof, and they will no longer be able to get customers at some of those price points.
Like Tyler,
Depending on the industry. Now,
Dave, you're not thinking like a Democrat, because bottom line, we are going to price fix everything that is going to be bought in this country.
Right. That's crazy.
He's going to go through it because large corporations are gouging.
They are.
No,
Yes.
they're not gouging.
They are.
They're not. They're not gouging.
Steve, what were you going to ask me?
Bottom line, capitalism, you are there to make profit and ungodly amounts of profit. Now, if there is a competitor that sells stuff less than you and they have a better product, or even product, then you go buy from them.
Well, I say a fair profit in the sense that if your profit is too let's say your margins are extreme. I don't know, like a product like one of those high end fashion, you know what I mean, like jeans, for example, or something. Right?
Oh yeah, ridiculous.
Well, yeah, so some of those last for a while, but what happens is someone else comes in with a product that's as good for less, and then there's no need to be able to have that product anymore, and it kind of moves away from that luxury, unless you're in extreme luxury, right? But what happens for most products at a certain price point, you'll have a percentage that you can make above whatever your costs are. But the problem is not that you're going to make an ungodly profit. Some industries you can. I mean, healthcare is making their costs have gone up, and they're like when I look at what my doctors charge the insurance companies, it's insane. Like we only charge X from a standpoint of whatever you're covered, right? But what they're charging the insurance companies, and then you're wondering why your insurance cost is extreme. They're charging, if I get my knee shot with cortisone and the gel, okay, because I got a bad right knee from 4 scopes for playing football. They're charging me X, right, for my visit.
Ridiculous.
But they're charging the insurance company thousands for those shots. Thousands. Thousands. And what happens is that drives up our insurance costs. You're paying for it somewhere, right?
Oh, I know. Insurance is ridiculous.
But you're paying for these things somewhere. So the more you drive up, which Frank's point is 100% correct, the more you drive up the costs of labor on purpose, artificially driving it up, not because it's demanded, but because it's artificially driven up. You drive up the cost, and then if you all of a sudden, quote unquote, put some sort of a ceiling on pricing, you're going to drive business into the ground, and you're going to have one supplier of bread, one supplier of this,
and that will be the government.
And it will be the government, and then that's how you have bread lines, and that's how you have nonsense like that. And that's what Frank's talking about, which is very true. Like, yes, anybody who owns a business, you should want to make as much profit as you can by servicing the customer as best you can, and you have the right to do that if you have a great product.
No brown lettuce either. No, don't use brown lettuce.
Right.
The more you raise these prices, the more you raise the costs of things artificially, and anytime you put a ceiling on things, you are just impending doom. That's why anyone who puts Democrat, to me, is an idiot, an absolute idiot.
Yeah,
they're voting not in their interest.
You're shooting yourself in the foot
I don't care if you're rich, poor, or in between. You are not voting in your interest. It doesn't matter what your economic class is. You're voting against yourself.
Tyler, I wanted to ask you, because you train everyone from real fighters to 63-year-old people to 40-year-olds who just want to get into shape. What do you charge per hour? If someone comes to you and says, Tyler, I want you to train me, and what is your hourly rate?
Depends on the class of customer and
So you don't have one set rate. It changes based on the customer. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Why does it change based on the customer?
Some guys with potential can't really afford my
that's why.
rates, but at the same time, when someone wants specialized service with the experience and the amount of education I have in the industry, like I can do things like basically physical therapy, corrective exercise, like major issues that people have been told that they require surgery for. I can correct that sort of thing.
So you can do like PT.
Yes and no, but a person getting that kind of service would be a more exorbitant rate. If I'm working with a guy that isn't making 6 figures a year and he wants to get into the fight game, he has a lot of potential, then I would charge him less, if at all.
So if it's a legitimate fighter, do you immediately put them under contract and are they paid a salary or they pay you an hourly rate?
Depends on the situation.
Well, like Louise or Oscar, how did that work out?
Oscar De La Hoya?
No, he's the guy.
Ozzy. You mean Ozzy?
Ozzy, sorry.
As far as they go, expenses, Louise, like Ozzy's just I think it's pro debut, so it's a different situation. Louise is an established pro, so fights he makes, salaries for, he pays you commission on, pays expenses, and as far as what I negotiate, I get a certain rate for that.
You get a rate.
What he gets paid, yeah.
Right. Okay. So the 63-year-old that trains with you, they obviously pay you an hourly rate, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And a 63-year-old who has no potential to ever fight.
So what I think Tyler's saying is that with the amount of expertise and time put in and knowledge that his time is valuable and he should be compensated accordingly, as opposed to someone just coming out of high school and taking a job position at a fast food place and wanting to make the same amount of money at a minimum level or higher as to what Tyler's making.
Right. That's my point.
So and that's my point as well. Yeah. That's my point as well, to set a minimum so high. People got to make money. I'm totally for them making money in the workplace. Absolutely. They have to live. How are you going to pay bills if you don't make $800 or $1,000 a week? They said right now, if you're making about $65,000 a year, that is not enough to survive. Okay, in larger cities,
there's also, I hear what you're saying, Frank. There's also something to be said for a guy like my top prospect, Ozzy Martin, who is like a fighting effing prodigy. Excuse my French, but what am I going to charge him for? Like working with him, there's so much value in that.
Those sometimes are free cases, Tyler, where you don't charge them because you know they can put on the back end. You're going to get something out of it.
He's going to get a return off of that.
What's up? What'd you say, Steve?
Right, and you know the point on that. But I'll use that as a good example, right? Tyler has the freedom to decide whether he wants to charge a customer.
That's what I was saying. Yes,
based off of their capabilities, or if they're just a casual person looking to stay in shape, or he has the ability to do that. If Tyler had hired a trainer like him to work in his business, and he had to pay that person a minimum amount, he could not have that person train this elite boxer or MMA fighter, because he would be in a situation where the cost would be prohibitive for him. So that's an example to me of how where the minimum wage thing can actually work against someone who is financially strapped but has talent, right? Tyler wants to go work with that person. This guy has potential. He could end up making everybody money, including the fighter, right?
Yeah, he goes to UFC
But if there was a minimum wage and he had to get that minimum wage for somebody, or he hired a trainer and he could not train that person, he would have to send them along to somebody else because he couldn't afford to take that person on. And that becomes the issue when the minimum wage is at a certain rate, because you can't do certain things out of charity or out of merit, or because you think you just can't. And and it goes for I'll use McDonald's as an example, right? Most people who want to work at McDonald's, they go there because there's a minimum wage, a steady paycheck, and all of that. Okay. But and most people look at that as a job that they have in high school, they get some money, or they work it in college. But what if I am someone that was decided not to go to college, and I want to be a manager in McDonald's, right? Or I want, and those guys make good money. Okay. Guys who manage McDonald's, they'll make six figures. Okay.
Yeah, they get a 401k. Yeah.
Right. But if I'm lumped in with all the people that are minimum wage people, how do I begin to establish myself as someone that's different and more talented? You know, if I go and decide I want to work more, or I want to, I'll come in and, I'll work five extra hours a night helping you with the books for free. Well, under the minimum wage laws, that would not be free. How could this person? I would have to charge them $15 an hour for that. And now that person doesn't get the opportunity to get the experience. Now, that's what the issue becomes with a minimum. Everyone should be able to get themselves a fair wage and have an opportunity to do that. There should not be companies that are taking advantage of people. I agree with those kind of things. But people who want to go over and above could be limited by the minimum wage laws.
Now, Tyler, the 63-year-old that you work with, what do you charge them per hour?
Well,
it's none of your damn business, Steve.
Yes, that's right. That's what I would say.
I was just curious. What?
It's none of your business.
A regular person.
It's none of your business. If he says how much he charges the 63-year-old, the 62-year-old,
they're not watching the show.
How do you know? The
62.
How do you know? Steve, you told me I spike your numbers.
The younger guys
told me I spike your numbers, Steve.
You do. Yeah.
Right.
Well, okay. There are certain people that get certain levels of training and looking for different things. There's different price points depending on how inclusive and how much service you're going to be provided with. There's several different factors.
Okay.
I run my business, like I have several core people that I work with, but it all varies across the scale, dude.
Okay.
All right, stop, Tyler, right there. Stop, Tyler. Stop right there, because you're starting to sound like Kamala Harris. You're roundabout the question. You have not given us a per dollar figure for the 63-year-old. I want information now.
Steve, Frank, you just told me I didn't have to. I'm not Kamala Harris saying, because you just established the ground rule that you didn't have to disclose that kind of information.
Steve's ignorance on the business world has totally shown here right now. Because this is not the pizzeria world. I charge 19 and a quarter for a pizza. That's great. There's hundreds of pizzerias around here. Bottom line, but you got to understand something.
Steve,
he charges
Frank,
for
how many topics? Frank, how many topics is that?
I don't know. Toppings, cheese. It's just, and you're lucky you're getting the
1925. How much is the pepperoni?
Pepperoni's I think it's $2.50 extra, brother. You got about a $22 pizza for a large pepperoni. I just
thought that regular person it'd be like $50 an hour.
You can't say that though, because he's on different scale levels with different people. So he says he charges $50 an hour to some guy, and then the other guy who's with him is going to come back and go, "Hey, I've been with you like 3 years. Why are you charging him 50 and you're charging me 70?
Oh, okay.
All right, just put it out there. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're doing that, Tyler.
Frank, those low numbers. Frank, those are low numbers.
No, they're low numbers.
No, he's
Frank, those are low numbers.
Right.
Do I look like I provide the right type of service, Frank?
Yeah, no. My pizza is going up $2 tomorrow, Tyler. Low numbers.
Jesus, bro.
And MMA.
Thank God there's not many good pizzerias around.
Yeah, no, there's tons around here. You came to the gas stations are selling good pizza right now. It's crazy.
All right. Well, this has been another spirited episode of Rebel Republic. Wow.
And I have not heard. Here's what's disappointing. in this entire broadcast right now, I think we've tried to explain the ideas and opinions of a more conservative thought process right here. We're trying to sway people to understand that, you know, they may be questioning themselves right now, but they're going to pull a lever for one instead of pulling a lever for the person they should be pulling it for because of economic reasons more than anything else right now.
Yeah.
But I'm disappointed. Yeah. I'm disappointed in us right now because we have not used the calling cards that you need to use in political talk. We have not said unity. We have not said love. We have not said happiness. We've not said joy. We haven't put any of those monikers or tags. We haven't. I did say Hitler once.
We don't feel that.
I did. No.
We don't feel joy. But frankly, I don't feel part of why being like most of our broadcasts and podcast listeners are from a pretty deep blue state, and if we go to political moniker, our logic will be less genuine. So
yeah, they don't want to hear
very real about it. But Frank, I hear what you're saying.
That's what they want to hear all along. They want to be coddled and stroked, and they just want to feel good. They don't care what happens. You know what they're like? They're like the base of it, they are like heroin users. Heroin users are just there for the high.
Jeez, Frank, right? Why are you pooping on the audience?
No, I'm not pooping on the audience. I'm just putting it out there as a general announcement. It's an assumption, a statement that bottom line, when you take heroin, you're high you feel fantastic, right? And then all of a sudden the low points come again.
Thanks for that update, Frank.
How are we going to? Yeah. I've only dabbled a few times, Tyler. It's crazy. real hard to get off of it. But hey, once I turned on Kamala Harris's point talking, I got off of heroin right away. That was the best detox I ever did, is watching her speak. But bottom line, that's what it's like. It's like they want to be in that 1 or 2 hour euphoria. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And life is not about that.
But that's where I don't want to give them.
They want to get away from the downside. The life is about
conflict. Conflict is so. This I think is goes for a large part of society too. Is that people don't want to get into conflict. Meaning, if I disagree with Frank, people think that automatically means we don't like each other. It's so stupid, but it's kind of how the world is now, especially in the younger generations.
Good point, Dave.
They're taught not to bully. And nobody should bully each other. But I'm saying, like,
some people need to be lightly bullied.
You never have this. You never had to stand up to a bully. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
you can't even make eye contact anymore.
Views,
right?
Yeah,
so the conflict thing. Which nobody loves when they have to have conflict with another individual. But conflict is what makes you stronger. It helps you judge things better. It helps you learn about other people. But they're taught now that conflict is not a good thing. Okay,
no, avoid
conflict
it.
to me is like, I mean, I was I was raised where I'd be sitting around the table as a kid. And my cousins and everything like that, and we'd all be sitting there, and the relatives would all be arguing about politics, and some would agree, some would disagree, and at the end of the day, they all loved each other, right? Well, anything they could argue, even food, right? So they argue, but they still loved each other. The thing that people now,
Dave, you just said love. You just put the damn word not to put in there.
Sorry about that. But they now that's an issue. Now, if I disagree with you, you're the enemy. You're the person I don't like.
Yes.
I can't call you an idiot for thinking something and still get along with you at the end of the day, right? Like, that's the thing that's a big, that is becoming a generational gap, more of a
big time
there. But it's an issue that you have to be able to handle conflict. You're going to be in conflict with other people, and you have to solve problems. That's how you solve problems, handling conflict.
Right.
I don't know.
And we
that's
avoid
part of it. Like, Kamala is saying, the whole joke on joy basically is, don't worry, no conflicts anymore.
No, we're all good.
A little bit of money,
no conflicts anymore. Just Ukraine and Israel and
Hamas and all that stuff. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, if you want to go from that angle, Trump's presidency had literally no new conflicts.
No, it didn't. No, he was smart.
There was conflict. He solved problems.
He did.
He solves problems. That's the difference. Biden,
Orange man bad.
The reason why you have so much conflict in the world is because
Biden won't do anything.
Problems.
Yeah,
Biden has money. Because Biden has money where there's conflict right now,
and he doesn't wake up past noon, so that's part of it too.
Yeah,
the biggest thing right now is Biden has both influence and money in the places in the world where the biggest conflict's taking place right now, especially Ukraine. So that's why this entire situation has become such a quagmire. Whereas former President Trump is taking preemptive steps to solve these conflicts in the case he gets elected.
As he's also trying to avoid
the best resolution of a conflict that I'd ever seen on social media. You've probably seen the clip. Is when that conservative talk show guy was at a protest, and it was that one bullfrog woman who was there, and she kept going. He was like, "Excuse me, can I talk to you a second? My body, my choice. Yeah. My body, my choice. My body." And she said it over and over and over and over again. It just shows the face of the average person that doesn't use their brain.
Well,
they just absorb what the media says. I'm going tomorrow. Listen, I am going down tomorrow to the town office. I'm protesting about my taxes. My house, my choice. Yeah. And I'm going to yell that over and over and over again. I want to lower it.
I'll go with you. Pick me up. All right.
You really got to do that? Because I would love that. I want video.
This has been a
you definitely should video that
discussion of Rebel Republic, and it's going to air on Unity Radio, 97.9 Radio. Tyler, stop coughing. Wednesday at 3:00. Wednesday at 3:00, we have a special. We have a special on Rebel Republic. Jimmy Fallon is coming on the show. No. You did not hear that wrong. Jimmy Fallon.
It's Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon is coming on.
Former cab driver, former comedy club. So he's a comedian by trade.
And he's coming on.
And he has taken over Rush Limbaugh's airwaves the past few years. He's the darling of Fox Broadcasting right now. He has his own late night show on Saturdays on Fox. Listen, I'm telling you right now, he is definitely going to be a spirited and hyped up interview.
Because we are the only conservative talk show in all of Massachusetts, pretty much.
Changing one mind at a time.
Yes. So for the voice of reason, Frank Cristiano, Coach David Schuman, Tyler King, all he does, he trains, he teaches class, and he kicks ass. The Marauder himself, Tyler King. Thank you for being on Rebel Republic. And remember,
thank you for having me.
When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges. Throw them back at life.